Alright.
Hello and welcome back. I am Sir Lewis Tully and I'm here with Perrin Ibarra and we're about to cast the Quicksilver at the Brutesquad.
From what I can see, I think
Still with me?
yeah, I'm still with you.
Oh, okay. Eh,
Sorry,
sorry, go ahead.
I had the stream going on in the background and all of a sudden it started playing, so
Oh,
I
yeah, it looks like
so
the
it kind of
uh, the,
confused
th-
me.
the three knights and the high priest seems to be the team from the Brute Squad, which I'll act surprised about, but I totally knew beforehand, being a Brute Squad member. While the Quicksilver's fielding Nazrin and their dual chokers, Thrasgash and Ashtai, with Grox as the Shukenja.
I will say that the Brute Squad is looking very chokeable, but way too much healing as well. If they can control the match well, I'd say the match would go to the Quicksilver, and if they can't take people out of the match, then it's going to go to Bruce. Calling it now.
I am relatively certain, as usual, that this will be a quick 3-0 from the Brute Squad. But with good reason this time, just because, with a dual choker on the field, obviously Grump is going to be taking a nap for a large part of this match, but everybody else ideally should be mounted. They've got a lot of healing. They've got the Meteo out there. Whereas on the side of the Quicksilver, they've got a lot of damage output in Nazarin. They've obviously got the AoE curse from Grox and the flash from Ashtai, which is going to be very, very useful.
Other than um, Other than Glylan, who can rear his mount, I expect to see a lot of choke mounts in this match. And yeah, and the
Yep.
match begins in 15 seconds.
Yep, we're gonna have to see how this goes and turns into practice here. If they can keep the mounts out of the play, it's going to be a very dangerous situation for the Brute Squad.
Here comes the mounts. I didn't see Krelius mounted. Wait, he is.
Yep, he's on a steed.
Three of them are mounted.
Galen does go to dual wielding. Looks like they were going to be
Grumpf,
relying on him for physical damage output.
he is their only dual wielder.
Yep, yep. He's the only dual wielder and the only real consistent heavy, heavy damage output. But everybody on the team has their own source of very decent damage output. Even
That's
the
true.
priest, which is not usually the case for priests, but Meteo is definitely a worthwhile spell.
Do you know what I wonder? Why doesn't Grumpf ever use elementals?
Uh, it may have something to do with all the mounts and whoever's leading the group. I don't know what the situation is most of the time with AoE damage flying around, but maybe he's just conserving mana for extra Meteos, which seems to be his primary role in a group
We
fight.
should we should definitely take a shot every time a mount dies, and one of the mounts have already died.
Yeah, we'll be dead before the end of the match here, I think.
Yes.
Somebody
Why is
forgot to
Glenlyn on a
miss.
holy steed?
Maybe they mounted the wrong mounts, and Branzel could be on the other one. I don't know if that's possible, but
It shouldn't be. And the chokes are going out. Grumpf and Krellius down.
and the first Warhorse down.
Well, okay.
Well, Warhorse, not first mount, but yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't see the Warhorse go down yet.
Grumpf being controlled. He's seeing more dirt than sky.
I think that's going to be the case for pretty much the whole match here with two chokers on the field against a dwarf, which both of those chokers should be able to hit pretty reliably.
Branzo choked. I think uh, Quicksilver has a lot stronger hitter team, Because even their Shukenja can dual wield.
Yeah, undoubtedly they've got a lot more physical hitting here. They're, in fact, all dual wielders. Um, I mean, obviously Nazarin's got to be your first target, I'm thinking.
Thrazgash just choked Grox.
Yeah, that's what you get for having a name that starts with GR. But then again, I hit my own teammates with darts all the time, so it makes me sad, so I can't really laugh at them too much.
I haven't done it that much this season.
I do
And
it
I've
mostly
choked a
because
lot of
of
people.
I do it mostly because of bugs, Southwest swashbuckler, same deal, but yeah.
Tell them not to wear a mask, and that problem goes away.
Actually, there seems to be an interim fix that I will just complain about if I explain it. But yeah, there is something that kind of got fixed on there and broken further. But back to the match here. It looks like Chargers are probably going to be the primary source of soaking damage in this fight, which I don't think is ideal for Brutes, but I think that's what's going to happen. Branzel is in the yellow here, but ooh, he's in the red, and that was a big round on him.
Look at that meteor go out. They really don't have enough damage to put enough pressure to put the Sharks in defensive, which means the lasting game isn't as easy to play.
That is true. Not against 4 dual wielders. It's going to be which gets outpaced here, healing or damage. And I think right now with the Quicksilver able to put the mounts down as quick as they are and keep Grumpf down as much as he is, I think the damage is outpacing the healing ability of the Brutes at the moment.
Kralius just joined Glyland's group, so they must have gotten on group somehow.
Yep. The only thing I saw that could have done that is Meteo, perhaps, but I don't know how.
Grumpf is at red. He's not. It looks like he's going down.
Yeah, they are focusing him pretty hard, and hopefully they can get it back together before.
It probably has to do with Meteo.
It's got to. I mean, that's the only AoE that I saw them put out, unless they accidentally hit a group member with something, I think.
Grumpf takes another choke.
Glayland takes a huge round from Thrazgash. Although Thrazgash is in the red here. I think if the Brutesquad can take one person, even any one of them out, I think they're in a much better position to use all that heavy healing power they've got.
Oh, Nazarin does take a smite blind, which will be useful for them to get some breathing room. Kralius is finally attacked. They always ignore Kralius. You notice that in every match?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for good reason too. He's pretty tanky. As a Shadow Knight, I never liked fighting them, but mostly I did it as a priest. So there are a lot of things you don't like fighting as a priest.
But I mean, like you have Branzel, Kralius, Grumpf, Glyland. Like of them, like Kralius never takes any like AoE damage or anything. Like he's always just pure white, and you can see like didn't Branzel, who's also just as tanky, go into the red not so long.
Yep. I haven't seen a Lego out yet, so that is probably still available if Grumpf gets close to death here, which is very useful. Like you were saying, there's just a ton of healing power on the Brutesquad on this side, and that one spell alone is enough to keep them in the fight if something goes terribly wrong. Take
a shot, another warhorse. Also, I just wanted to note, good use of Trip on Branzel, but their Ashtai, their assassin, has probably been deafening them, so the communication is a little bit slower than normal.
Yep, absolutely. Deafen really is, even when you're not having your group broken, Deafen is pretty devastating in something as hectic as ACFL.
Branzel's remounted again.
Yeah, like you said, Trip is going to be very, very effective this match, as you do have 3 people mounted, and as soon as the charger goes down, Trip becomes available.
Too bad they don't have anyone large enough to bash a mounted person. But Thrasgash has been using swords and crossing them, which can stun mounted people.
Yep, yep. And as an armsman, I mean, Yank is always very useful. I don't think it's going to be employed in this, but I think you can pull people off of mounts, can't you, with Yank?
Yeah, but it's not worth it because there's a cooldown on it, and considering how quickly it is to get back on a mount, it's probably better just to kill the mount.
Yep.
The chip on Glylan.
Glylan does go into the red here, and it means Brutes have multiple people in deep red. I don't think Grumpf would have been able to heal up that much in between all this.
As long as no one... Oh, Thrasgash does go down. That's not good for the Quicksilver. As long as Brutesquad can like heal up and get back together, I think they'll have a huge. They should be able to press this advantage, which they should,
Yep.
since they all have ER.
Absolutely. It wasn't off to toast from Grumpf too, which is a little bit scary, because you got to figure he's got some mana left to be healing still. So if they can keep him from going down, I think they're going to be in a very good position here.
Mm-hmm. Although Ashai looks like he's trying to kill Grumpf. If Grumpf does go down, it will even up the field, and I think they should try to run a flagging cap or something.
Yep.
Because they really can't afford to play like a long game against them. Not as four dual wielders.
Right, right. They don't have a whole lot of healing on the field. In fact, it looks like they just, Grox and Ashtai are their only healing on the field, and it's probably not the most efficient thing they could have.
Is Kralia's spell cause fatting Nazarene?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what Shadow Knight mana pool is like, but maybe it could be, spike damage against Blade Singers is always a good idea.
Looks like Ashai's taking a lot of damage. Trying to kill Grumpf.
Yeah, I think they realized the same thing that that we did, is that you gotta take somebody out, and Grumpf was real low. Though I don't see the Brutesquad letting Grumpf go down here. There's just too much healing on the field, and I think at this early, they all still have mana.
Not to mention Branswell does have a lay, and Ashtai takes a spellblind.
Yeah, that's important to note. The lay has not gone out yet, but you'd think they might be holding it just because with an off toast, I would have panicked and laid Grumpf just immediately. But they definitely seem to have it under control here with the heals.
Off with some of these guys could be like 700 health, No.
Off to, oh no, you're right. You're right. No, isn't what is the absolute lowest? Oft is the very lowest possible, right?
It is. So it could be like 460, 500 if they have way too much health.
Yeah,
depending.
Yeah, that's true. It could be high. I oft for me is like 100 health, so I always panic. I play too many Kender.
Yeah, but I mean, as a healer, Wimpy riding is like the most efficient way to, at least in the arena. So you kind of stay at the off area. So off with like a mana pool of 2,000 is a huge difference between off and no mana. Like,
Yep. Yep. And if they can hold
I'm
that
not
play,
saying-
that's something nice to have it in the back pocket too.
I doubt Grumpf would be doing that. He doesn't know how to lower his Wimpy.
I'm a little bit surprised that nobody's picked up the flag here. This seems to be a recurring issue with Brutes. They'll get a slight advantage here and then not really capitalize on it, and everybody will get back out and they'll get into round 2 again.
Yeah. If I were them at this point, I'd probably let Grumpf die so he can come out sooner and try to. His ER has to be down, and that means he can't. He's basically a body.
Yeah, it really depends on what his status for mana is. It's hard to say exactly what that is since we don't see most of the heals go down.
It looks like the advantage is Quicksilver with Thrasgash out again.
Yeah,
Although
Thrasgash
you
is
have
out
to
here
say that
looting too.
all of Quicksilver has to be low.
Quicksilver's low and Ashtai is dead too. So if they can take somebody out before Ashtai comes back out, I think they're still in a good spot. But they are putting a lot of hurt on Grumph right now.
And
And Grumph does
Grumps
go
does go
down.
down. But I think he kind of needed to go down.
He probably was low or out of mana, so that's probably a good thing for him to go down, and there's no better time than right now while they still have Ashtai down.
If I were to do that, I would have probably just choked him and left him there and try to kill someone else. Because empty mana priest is probably the best. Like he can't do any physical damage output. We all know that, right?
Yeah,
He could
yep.
if he cared for it, but he doesn't. And here's Branzo does mount his warhorse. They're all mounted again.
Yep, they're all mounted again. Glaylin looked very low. Grox does pick up the flag.
I'm not sure I like that because now Grox is gonna get. Wait,
The last I
Grox.
saw Grox, he was deep in the red, so he may just be trying to kind of suicide on the flag here.
That's probably the way, because he's not gonna score.
The important part here is everybody from the Brute side on the field right now seems like they're in relatively good health, and they can hit if they need to. So it's a matter of when do you kill people. It looks like Nazarin's fairly low, Grox is fairly low. You don't want to kill them at the same time, but you do want to get at least one of them down quickly.
Is it me or do all the matches take like 10 times as long as they used to? And Thrasgash is no longer spellblind.
Although the Yan Luo does take a blind, which in my experience is very difficult to do. I've never successfully dirt kicked one, but I guess you can spell blind them. And yeah, it does seem like the matches take a lot longer, and I think it's because so many teams are employing that 2 or 3 healer on the fields this year.
Yeah, I think Shukenja also like are very useful against caster heavy teams. And
They are.
they're just useful in general, so people like to throw them in more now.
They get thrown in more, but also you'd think that more people would be taking more damage faster with Shukenja on the field just because of the AoE curse. Quicksilver does capture the flag here, which...
Sure. I should eat my own words, yes.
I'm surprised that the Brutes let that happen. It could have been on purpose, I don't know. But they could be just giving that one up in order to give themselves a better position. But at this point, Ashtai is going to be getting back out here again pretty soon.
Rox picks up the flag, and Ranzel is choked at the 30-yard marker. Not looking good for the Brutes.
3-0, sir. This Quicksilver point is going to be taken away retroactively for some reason. Clearly, they're cheating.
So you're saying basically that Quicksilver will get DQ'd?
Exactly. Exactly.
So it'll have nothing to do with Brutes' play, and it's just because the Quicksilver themselves will give Brutes a 3-0?
Yeah, exactly. I still think the Brutes have a good shot at winning this too. It's gearing up to be one of these long extended matches too, like the last. I still haven't seen a lay go out. They could be trying to delay to get Grumph back out, but really, I don't know how much gas they have in the tank for healing still, but hopefully it's a lot, or else it's going to be problematic, because at this point Ashtai is back out, and it's 4v4 again. Or will be 4v4 when Grumph gets back out.
Ranzo gets the trip. Oh, my D-techs are falling. This match has gone on too long.
Quicksilver does
another
capture
score.
again. This is not good. They really need to do something to at least slow these down.
They could try to pick it up themselves. I think Grumph is back out now. Here comes some Meteos.
You would think at this point that Brutes would pick up the flag just so they don't let them sneak another one, just in case. I mean, obviously Quicksilver hasn't picked up the flag again yet either, but just to be on the safe side, it seems like that might be prudent.
Well, Grumps is guarding the red flag room. Or was. Yeah, he is. With his
Krelius just
Meteos.
removed Branzel from the group. So they're, or Glaylen. Or I don't know if they're regrouping.
The grouping isn't that good. Grumpf is already red. He looks like he's going down. A couple more rounds and he'll be dead.
Yeah, hopefully they get the layout on somebody here, because it looks like everybody's taking a lot of damage.
He doesn't need a lay, he just needs to not be in a one exit room against 4.
Yeah, yeah. Well, another Warhorse goes down, and this is about the point we'd be getting carted off to the hospital for alcohol poisoning.
Says you, I've been taking drinks. Oh, Grumps does get the entwine. Looks like they're trying to kill Grumps. And he has to have a ton of mana. Not looking good. If he goes down here... Oh, he had a ton of mana, didn't he?
Yeah,
And he could have re-armed his entire team.
That one, I think, is going to spell doom for the Brutesquad here. Unfortunately, for me as a Brutesquad member, and for me as a Brutesquad better.
Yeah, I'm going to call it for the Quicksilver at this point. 3-0 Quicksilver.
I think you're right about that at this point. I mean, barring a miracle, and they do still have a lot of healing on the field, but everybody else has been alive this whole time. They've got to be out of mana at this point. ER did not have a chance to come back up.
Yeah, poor communication, which I think has been the case a lot.
Definitely seems like it. From an outward standpoint, I don't know for sure. But yeah, it seems like a lot of disorganization here, and group breaking for some reason or another. I think that's going to have to be looked into from the Brutesquad camp as well. What's been breaking the groups here? It's at least 2 that we saw that they had to regroup.
It looks like Krellis picks up the first flag for the blue team.
Yeah,
oh, I mean red team.
Yeah, he does pick up the flag. Seems more like a desperation move than anything else, but it could be, like I said before, just a preventative measure just so they don't sneak that cap in.
I think he should have picked it up before the first cap.
Yeah, it seems like at this point they could have done it a long time ago, but at this point they just got to stall until Grumpf gets back out again.
I don't think they can stall that long. They need to kill the other team.
If they can take down, I think, Nazarin here, then I think it's within reach, but certainly not terribly likely at this point.
Krellis gets shield cleaved. And Grox gets might blinded.
Krellis
Grox looks
finally...
like he's going down.
Oh, yeah.
Is that another dead mount? Yes, it is.
It is indeed. Krelius is finally into the yellow here.
Nazarin with the failed bash.
And you know, for their lack of healing, Quicksilver has done an amazing job of staying alive here while in the red.
Well, it's not just that the healing, it's just the Brutes haven't taken advantage of the fact when one of the Quicksilver goes down. Like when Thraskash was down or Ashai was down, they didn't do anything with it. They could have tried to run a flag and force them.
Yeah, while they had that 4v3, that seemed like a great time to be running the flag, and we even commented on it when that was happening too. It seems to be a recurring problem that they just have not capitalized yet, or found that room to capitalize when they win that initial fight, which they did.
Ashai is white. Did he just come back, or has he been white?
He was down at one point, and I didn't see him get targeted after that, so he's been out for a while, but I just don't think he's been the target.
Thraskash does choke Glylan.
Branzel does go into the red, and I still have not seen a lay go out. We may have missed it, but you got to think that he's got it available.
Yeah, maybe he'll put it on Krellis right now.
Or Glayland, or whoever's about to go down, because at this point, if another person goes down, I think it's over.
They do need to kill Ashtai. Krellis needs a rescue.
You know, he does, but at the same time, he seems like the only one with any health.
He needs a rescue so he can move out of that room.
At this point, as a brute, I wouldn't be too worried about moving out of the room so much as just staying alive until Grumph gets back. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean, where's he gonna go? I don't
he's
think they're gonna
he's
take
back
it.
though. Grumph is back.
Grumph is back, so this is their shot here if they're gonna have one.
Uh, and he does get choked. Your shot just went to sleep.
Yeah,
Violence mounted. Again.
that dual choke is proving very, very effective. Thrasgash does go down, so we've got a 4v3 opportunity here.
I'm pretty sure Brenzel still has opportunity to lay.
And he's back in the yellow, which means he had at least a little bit of mana left to heal himself with. Hopefully he preserved enough mana for the lay.
I bet he'll use it off Kralis if Kralis is getting close to death.
It's possible while Grumph was in his first death timer there, he was able to get Prayer back up when he came out and get everybody ER'd again. Which will keep him going a little bit longer.
Nazarin thinks he's an Invoker. If he was, that would be so much more damage.
Nazarin does go down here, so this looks like
The point for Brutes.
it's not going to be a 3-0 at very, very least, and Grumph is out there again with a full mana pool. They did kind of hold off that onslaught.
All they needed to do was pick up the flag, apparently.
Yep, and that's half of capturing the flag is picking it up to start with, and they finally have done that.
You know why it worked? It's because they picked up a flag, the opposing team had to actually kill them. And to this point, I think the Brutes have lost only Grumph twice, and everyone else has lived throughout this entire time.
That is exactly the case, and as it was Krelius who picked up the flag, who was the one with all the health still, it forces them onto Krelius. And Grox does go down. They've got to be real careful here because Quicksilver's all going down very, very close to each other, so they're going to come out at full health really, really close.
Yeah, they need to kill Ashtai quick. Well, if they kill Ashtai quick...
I think they need to keep Ashtai alive. He's the only one out there.
Well, Ashtai has a flag, though, so if they want to score 2 points, they'll have to kill him.
Then, yeah, you're right. That, I think, is a mistake from the Brutes, killing everybody but the flag carrier. I think they needed to kill the flag carrier and leave the other ones alive, because the other ones probably wanted to die.
They don't have much of an option, because they don't have controlling things like choke. They need to recruit an armsman.
They need to get their Kender to go back armsman. That's what's going to happen. Just wait till you
know
see
what
the
they
Kender
need?
choke.
Actually, the Kender could sleep people. I feel like if you were good at sleeping, you would be a good Brodrim counter. Just put him to sleep every day.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll have to see what the future has for
There's a scorer.
Stars. And Brutesquad do score here. They're going to get at least one more, because nobody else is on the field. Hopefully they can get one more and then get at least part of the way across the field with the third one before anybody gets out.
They should have stacked caps to run it over quicker, which basically just means someone waiting in the flag room.
Yep.
Since everyone was wiped.
I think you're absolutely right about it. Every second does count in this situation here, because you want to have the other team panic about your third cap while they're getting out. I think if they had, and there's another group problem there, it looks like.
I think they have been completely ungrouped this entire match, like after Grumph uses his Meteor.
Yeah, I really wonder. Yeah,
triple chargers.
It's gotta be. It didn't seem to be an issue in the Stars match though, which is odd to me, because they were doing the same thing. It looked like with the Meteor and the Chargers then.
It probably has to do with the fact that Bodrum changed them. Also, all the Chargers are now in combat, which means that the Meteors will miss their own group's Chargers, sort of thing.
Yep, very possible.
Because of the PvE sort of things where you can't really kill steal.
Grumph does put a Blizzard out. I don't really see the benefit of that with Thrasgash being the target, but
yeah, there's a benefit. He's trying to prevent him from being choked.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's his tactic to avoid just spam Blizzard on Thrasgash. So they do get their second score out. So now it's a 2-2 game, much closer than it should have been. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a real question of does Branzol actually have Lay or is it on cooldown? Has he used it already? And do they have enough mana to withstand this next big fight? Because all of Quicksilver's coming back out at full health and full mana.
I gotta be honest, I'm rooting for the Brutes to win. Um,
I
because
gotta be
it'll
honest, me too.
I'm doing it for selfish reasons, because then, one of our possible contenders gets further behind, and you guys are so far behind that you'd have to win every single one to.
Hey, last season the Brutes finished 15-5. We're 0-6 right now, so the goal is 14-6.
Okay. Grumpf does go take a dirt nap. See, that's why he was blizzarding earlier.
Yep, I don't know. Maybe it's just personal preference, but Blizzard seems like a very mana inefficient spell to do that with. You could probably accomplish the same with Holy Flames.
No, because Holy Flames isn't a dot. What he's doing is that because there's 2 rounds of lag on choke, uh, like by the time even if he does land a choke, uh, the dot will hit him and put him to combat before he can move again.
I see. Okay. Yep, that makes perfect sense then, and it's smart.
I know a lot about counters to Armsman, a little bit more than a Kender Armsman would.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean on that. That's definitely true. I was anything but a standard armsman because most of the skills that you guys use, I wasn't able to.
Did your shield cleave work?
I gotta be perfectly honest. I never had an axe to try with, but
It seems like
probably
something that
not.
would land more.
Uh,
Eh,
I know in
Imagine if Kender
things.
were sorry. Imagine if Kender were like super S cleaver, like they no fails, because there's a lot of skills that have dex checks.
Oh yeah,
So if it
yeah.
was a dex check one, then like you could actually have a utility if you could break everyone's shield.
I kind of wish I had taken the weapon groups that everybody says are useless, just because they may be considered useless because nobody has dex. But live and learn. If I ever go armsman again, I'll probably take everything and try it out.
Which groups are useless?
People said don't take daggers and things like that. But if
I
anything's going to be
I,
dex based, the dagger stuff would be.
I didn't take. I did take everything, but I use everything except daggers. I even use maces, but that's for leeching up.
Right, right. Uh,
Grox has a flag and he's at 10 yard.
well,
In
Krelius
red.
also has the flag, I think.
Now he does. Yes.
Oh wow, yeah, that was close.
No, no,
I
no.
thought he had the flag after they capped that other time, but that could have been devastating again for the Brutesquad.
Grox is at. Where's Grox? He is at the. I wish I had Jormax's PNP sort of. That thing kind of makes it easy to keep track of non-speakers.
Krelius does take a trip here. Um, it, I've never seen trip be quite this useful, but I've never really seen a team fielded with quite so many horses out on the field either.
They all should have fly potions, and they should all be ready for a dead mount. Everyone's back on the field. Do you think anyone's not back on the field? It looks like it.
No, I
Is
think
Thrasgash?
everybody's been back out for about three, maybe two, 3 ticks now. I think.
Yeah. Thrasgash is now grouped with Grox.
Krelius finally does go into the red.
Grox is at the blue goal line, which means he's 1 room away. So if Krelius goes down, it's over.
Yep.
If it if a lay's going out, now's the time to use it.
Yeah, yeah. You have to assume that it's gone out onto somebody, but and then we just missed it at this point. You can't think that they would have held it for this long.
Well, I mean, Krelius, oh,
Krelius does
it's
go
over.
down, and Quicksilver does win. So if there was a lay, we missed it, or it was on cooldown. it's hard to say what the case was, but another close match, but another set of looks like communication and disorganization issues from the Brutesquad, and Quicksilver does
Hmm.
take this one.
Hmm. It's a pity. I was hoping for the Brutes to take it. Although 2 points is good in my book as well, because the points for and against it will lower their value.
Yeah, it does
Um,
seem like they're making progress. They are capping flags. They're getting a little bit more organized. But yeah, I think tonight might have been a step backwards, and I think it's going to really be go back to the drawing board and find out what exactly was causing all the group breaks there.
my advice: check if it's the mounts. I'm pretty sure it's because
It's got to
you,
have something
you,
to do
you
with
can.
media. I think
Yeah,
you're right about that. So I'm going to
yeah.
go ahead and sign off the stream now. And I am Lewis Tully, and thank you for casting me. This is Perrin Ibarra.
Take care, everyone.
Have a good night.